Hello, Sim friends, and we have a new LP house in the online store. It is called An Afternoon in Summer, and it is on sale for 699 LP. And it is available on the Ocean View lot. And from the picture, it's okay. So, as usual, the first house is free. And then after that, the house cost over 18 million sim coins, it looks like. But that could be depending on your town value. So here is the house. Um, it's um, it's not my style, but but like it's a pretty, it can be made over into something really cute. But based on appearance, I don't know. It's okay, but I've seen better looking houses in terms of appearance. But off the bat, you're getting all of the Moroccan items in this house and a couple of the Riyadh items. You're getting all of the plants and the trees, and you're getting this fencing along the outside, so that's pretty good. And you're getting those countertops and that stove. You're getting that stairway. Um, all of the doorways you're getting, and like all of the windows, which I think are the Moroccan windows. You're getting that archway that goes above a stove, and then you're getting a couple of the eco the lifestyle items and a juice shelf. And then you're getting the chairs along the outside, and you're getting that that twin bed, the Riyadh bed, and then you're getting that bathroom sink. You're getting that bed with, with the curtains above it. More of the Moroccan items and the seaside, the windows, it looks like, and the Latin, the countertops, and the cottage washer and dryer, that stairway, and um, the rugs and the doorways and the seaside, the windows, and more of the Moroccan items. You're getting everything on, like on the balconies. You're getting that bed with the drapes on it, and also that wardrobe. You're getting that bathtub, um, the blue and cream rug, and another bed with the drapes. I don't know what it's called. Don't. And then the tub, and then another bed with the drapes. Those are the Riyadh beds, I think, or is it the Diwali? I can't remember. And then you're getting the workshop table and chairs outside. So if you're a brand new player, this house may be of good value. Um, there were a couple of items that I did not have in my inventory, smaller items. Um, and as for the layout, I don't like it. I just don't. Um, I wanted to make this house my own and something that, that made sense to me. Um, and I'm not a fan of the layout. I'm really, really not. I don't like stairs that go on the outside. That's just me. That's just a hiccup I have. I don't like it. So So here is the remodel. I made this house my own, meaning I did change the walls. So it looks completely the different, and I made it into three separate family homes. Um, and I and the roof is from the new diner event that we got in the sim chase, I believe. So that's where the roof is from. The exterior is an older exterior. I don't remember what it's called, but I use the white stone fencing outside of this home, and I use the white cabin door. Um, and then the sofas are the cottage sofas. I use the pine windows all throughout this home and that pine staircase. Um, and then the countertops are the pine Blanco, the countertops, and that fridge I got in an online pack. And I put some items like on, like on the countertops. I forgot to put, oh, or no, I did put stools, the pine, the botanical stools, I think. And then, and then the dining tables are older, and then those chairs are the blue chairs. I don't remember the name. And then of course I put some wall hangings up and some plants, like, like all throughout the house. And you as you can see, I did change up the walls. So that was my preference. But if you the make over this house, let me know. I would love to know what you do with it. And so I put in a laundry room, and these countertops are older. Those are the countertops. And then I use the pine, the countertops, in the bathroom, and then the spa shower, and then that tub. And then here is the first bedroom. I used blues all throughout this room, including the countertops. I use the countertops as nightstands in my builds. That's just how I prefer to do it. Um, and then in this other room, this gray French style bed, that's an older item. And then I use those countertops, and then of course wall hangings. And then in this bedroom, I use this tan king size bed. I love that bed. I really do. And then the countertops are the tan Scandi, and then I used the wardrobe, and then some wall hangings. Here is the third floor. Um, I did put some wall hangings along the walls, and then I used that older rustic pink bed, and then the pink kids shelf, and then the countertops, and then the same thing in this room. Is the same exact items except for the bed. That is the pink bed, but it's older. And it's got brown on it. And then, of course, I used the white lofted bookshelf. In this room, I used the sorority bed that I got in an online pack. And then the tan Scandi countertops, it looks like. And then the kids' wardrobe. And then here is another bedroom, and that has an older bed in it. And then the tan Scandi countertops. I love using the countertops as nightstands because I don't really like the nightstands they have in the game. And I think that the countertops just look better, but that's just my opinion. And and then I have some tables and chairs, on the balcony so that the Sims can enjoy themselves outside. And then I place some hedges um, along all of the balconies in these builds. And then here is the next home. I use the black ornate the fencing along the outside, and then that walnut door, but it looks like it's ash. And I tried to use ash all throughout this home, but the windows are kind of like pine, if you will. So I used those elegant the couches. I think they're called elegant the couches. Um, and then in the kitchen, I use the coastal the countertops, which has ash in it to match the stairway. And then here's the dining table. You with the same table as I used in the other home. And and I use those coastal the countertops throughout the build. And then the ash the stairway. And then here is a bedroom. I put that blue king size bed in it, and then I added a computer, and then those countertops. I think they're gray Scandi. And then in this room, I used that oak bed, and then the brown Scandi the countertops, and then I used that wardrobe, and then of course a computer and a bookshelf. And then in this room, I used that blue and pink striped bed. I don't remember where it's from. And then the pink kids is wardrobe, and then the pink the countertops. And then here is the bathroom with the same shower as in the other build. And then here is the third floor. I used that cream colored king size bed in that bedroom. And then I put in a laundry room with the garage washer and dryer. And then here is another view of that room with the white lofted bookshelf. And then here is the walnut boho style bed. And I used the that walnut wardrobe, and then like a computer and a bookshelf, and then of course these wall hangings inside the hallway. And then here is the third home. I used the cabin fencing. I think it's a cabin fencing or the retreat fencing. It's something like that. And then I used walnuts all throughout this build. And so that table and chairs is the lunar walnut style table and chairs. And then I used an olive rug underneath to match the greens. And then, of course, I used that walnut rustic stairway. And then these countertops are oak, but they look like walnut. So I used those. I don't remember what event they're from. And then the windows are the walnut frosted windows. And then the sofas are the walnut sofas. And then I used that shelf on the wall. I think that's walnut too. I can't recall. And then here is the upstairs. I put in these wall hangings in the hallway. And then I put in a garage washer and dryer inside that room. And as you can see, I did change up the walls a lot. And then here is the bathroom. I use the spa bathtub and spa shower. And then here is the first bedroom with that pink Memphis bed, I want to say. And then the countertops and wardrobe and and a computer and a sorority cart, which I got in an online pack. Here is this next bedroom. I put in a computer, and then I put in that older brown bed, and then the countertops. And then here is this room. That's the wabi sabi style bed, I want to say. And then I put in like a computer, um, and then these wall lights with the shelf is from an online pack. And then here is the third floor. Here is this smaller bedroom. I put in a sorority cart and a computer, as I did in every room, and then that bed. And then here is this bedroom. The same thing, just with the twin bed. It's an older pink twin bed. And then the wall lights. And then here is this bed. I forgot the name of that queen size bed. And then I used the countertops, and then I put in a wardrobe, I think. Did I put in a wardrobe? I can't remember. And then here is the outside of the balcony. I just have a table and chairs and a planter, and then the hedges. So that is my remodel. I hope you enjoyed.